All right. FA Cup first quarter final has ended in tears on the side of Liverpool, and Man City have rejoiced, and it's victory after victory, success after success for Man City. Man City came into this game of football after beating Arsenal hands down in the Carabao Cup finale by 2 goals to nil, and they lifted the Carabao Cup. Arsenal walked trophyless from Wembley. And remember, Man City had come into this game after being knocked out of the Champions League by Real Madrid, and they lost by 2 goals to 1 at home, and away they lost by 3 goals to 0. So that's how things really panned out for Pep Guardiola. But he really went in the international break when he has gone ahead to lift the Carabao Cup in there for you. So for Liverpool, adding salt to an insult, before we headed into the international break, Liverpool had lost 2-1 to Brighton. And now they've gone ahead to return, and they've gone ahead to play away from home. And guess what has gone ahead to happen? They've found themselves in a position of really losing out onto what we call the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, and they've been beaten by a team known as Man City. And this is what we call thorough beating. You know, they've been humbled, they've been annihilated, and I don't know what the job of onslaught stands like. Welcome to the Rokani Media Football. How are you guys, and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. And smash the like button, comment, and share. If you're totally watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not miss out on the stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And it's really one of those moments that sees me smile because a lot of things are really happening. And I never expected Liverpool to obviously walk away from what we call the Etihad Stadium. Not really. They couldn't survive because when you look at Pep, his players have gone ahead to pick up combination. You know, the permutations are really right, the energy is right, and the chemistry is really cooking on. And guess what? It is really firing up day after day in there for you. Now, when you look at this game, in the 39th minute, Erling Haaland went ahead to obviously score a penalty. Then in the second minute of the 2 minutes, in the second minute of, how can I frame it? In the 45th plus second minute, you know, as we headed to the halftime, Erling Haaland went ahead to obviously make it 2. And then 12 minutes into the first half, the second half, 5 minutes into the second half, Anton Semenyo made it 3-0, and then Erling Haaland completed his hat-trick in there for you, and he made it 4-0 for the side of Man City, and that came in the 57th minute. That's what we really had in there. So a man known as Erling Haaland has bagged himself a hat-trick, and obviously he has gone ahead to beat Liverpool in there for you. And it's really very worrying that a defense that has Virgil van Dijk and Konate, you know, Gomez and Kirkes can concede 4 goals. You know, 4 goals. That's very worrying. And it really proves to us that we were right and they were wrong. The recruitment team of Liverpool really was wrong, because if you look at the attack line of Liverpool, even after them selling Nunes and Luis Diaz, I think they would have looked better with Cody Gakpo, Mohamed Salah, and who else? They would have gone ahead to all and Ekitike, because Ekitike came in for 80 million euros. Now, they did a very big mistake, signing Florian Wirtz for 150 million euros. You get? Was that necessary? I think what was necessary for them was to get 2 players. One, get a defender for like 60, 70 million euros. And for the other 80 million euros, go ahead and really look out for another player, you know, who can really do that job that Florian Wirtz was really bought in for, because players were there on the market. You might ask me, which players were there on the market for that amount of money? Let me bring you up to speed. Morgan Rogers. If Liverpool, even if it's right now, if they hold 80 million euros and they put it onto the table of Aston Villa will be like, let's get it in. You get? The other player that was available for that amount of money and less was Ebelechi Eze, because Arsenal bought him for 68 million pounds, and 80 million euros is 72 million 72 million 72 million pounds in there for you. So they would have gone ahead to obviously have a balance of like 4 million pounds. You understand? I'm really trying to give you more and more and more players that are really available for that amount of money. Which other players? Very many players. Xavi Simons was available. You know, they would have gone to get in a defender and Xavi Simons. Even in the money of Alexandra Isak, 120 million pounds, they would have gone ahead to get in a player like an Oli Watkins from Aston Villa to add him onto Ekitike, right? Because Oli Watkins was available for like 40-50 million pounds, and then the 70 million pounds would have gone ahead to obviously cater for another defender who is really versatile. And I think they would have gone ahead to have a very good season. Imagine a Liverpool having two defenders, you know, like Mark Gehi and very many others. Then them having Ebelechi Eze, Xavi Simons, Ekitike, and Oli Watkins. Don't you think that forward line would have gone ahead to obviously make wonders to this club? It would have gone ahead to do a lot. But I think the mistake was made, and we went to the January transfer window. They signed a defender, and the defender immediately got injured. So that is how things really panned out for the side of Liverpool, and that's why they're really getting in very many goals. And for Pep, in the January transfer window, he went ahead to strengthen himself. He knew to it that he was porous in his defense, and he fought to get Mark Gehi, and he beat Liverpool for the signature of Mark Gehi. And Pep also went ahead to bring in Anton Semenyo, another player that Liverpool was looking for in there for you. Now, as it stands, it's not business as usual at Liverpool. You know, with Pep beating them 4-0 midweek, they are going to be playing away at PSG, right? So they might swallow a lot, and obviously they will see themselves really getting knocked out of the Champions League if they really keep on welcoming in very many goals like they've got a hit obviously welcoming through today. And my worry is the side of PSG has a better attacking force than that of Man City. We are talking about Kvaratskhelia, we are talking about Bakola, we are talking about Ousmane Dembele, we are talking about Dowie, we are talking about which other player? You know, they really have a better what is it called? A better attacking force than the side of Man City. Now, if City is going to hit obviously give you 4, how many will PSG obviously come in and obviously give you? You know, Ancelotti is failing on his job. Pep is smiling all the way to the semi-final, and for the second time, he's obviously going to be playing at Wembley in there for you. And more games are coming in through in the FA Cup. All I know is that Arsenal is coming in later on at Arsenal is coming in through later on, playing against Southampton away. Chelsea is hosting Port Vale today, 19:15 hours, and then West Ham will host Leeds. That is tomorrow at 18:30 hours, and then we will head to the Champions League, and the Premier League will return next weekend. So, guys, thank you very much for watching through. Pep has gone ahead to school and slots, and it is really, 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 really good for the purists of football and those who really hate Ancelotti. But Slot just went ahead when to make a mistake in the summer transfer window. That is it. So thank you very much for watching through. Rokani David is my name. Continue to subscribe. That's what I had to say about this particular game of football.